Alright, welcome back guys to another video. Today we are in Skullcrawler Beak, and if you haven't seen my last video, which was Fang Lair, they mentioned Zarn in the dungeon, so I wanted to do this dungeon and see if there's a connection. There probably will be, because you know it's the same part of the same DLC, so I won't be surprised if there is a connection. But yeah, that's why I'm doing Skullcrawler Beak today, and without further ado, we'll talk to Jorvuld.
Well met, traveler. I'm not sure what has brought you to Skullcrawler Peak, but I must advise you to turn back. The creatures within this mountain have been exposed to a terrible disease, and I'm afraid there's a chance you'll become infected. I'm trying to stop the disease from spreading. I came here with several companions, but we weren't expecting an attack so early on. The ogres were far less aggressive during my last visit. I believe this sickness has changed their behavior. Trapped on the other side of a broken bridge, I'm afraid. Say, you look capable. Would you mind escorting me through the frost-spiked caverns in order to reach my companions? It's vitally important we continue our expedition. Now, we must be cautious. Skullcrawler has always been a place of danger, and this disease seems to have only further agitated the creatures that live here. Of course, I originally came here to study the dragon priest Skullcrawler, the namesake of this mountain. Unfortunately, upon my arrival, I discovered a cult. They appear to be experimenting with this disease, perhaps even creating a plague. Once, dragons reigned over all of Tamriel. Their favored followers were honored as dragon priests, and gifted powerful masks imbued with the dragon's power. Zaan, the Skullcrawler, was one such priest, and here lie her remains. Well, what fascinates me is her strong connection with Thurvokun, her dragon lord. I had hoped to research that connection, but then I discovered these depraved cultists. Feel free to read my journal if you'd like to learn more.
Oh. So she was actually the dragon priest for the dragon in Fang Lair. I didn't know that.
Truly? Even undead, defeating a dragon is no small feat. That's simply amazing. You must tell me the tale when the time is more opportune. Dragon priests are my life's work, but I find their dragon lords endlessly fascinating. It sounds just dreadful, doesn't it? Normally, I wouldn't jump to such conclusions, but I happened upon some of their research notes. It outlined their experiments with the disease, and how they intend to spread it. Given the state of the creatures here, I'd say they've already started. I have no idea what's driving them towards such a dark goal, but I do know we must put an end to it. That is the current purpose of my expedition.
So Zarn was the dragon priest for the dragon in Fang Lair. That's interesting. You mentioned she was her body lay here, or her remains lay here, or something like that. Does that mean that she's undead? I mean, we know she's not. You know, she's the last boss, but is she actually undead then? I wonder if there's a way to tell. Oh yeah, he's glad.
How are you all faring? Everyone all right?
Lotus and I are fine, but Ludovic wasn't so lucky. He fell.
I always told him that name of his would do him no good.
I was afraid of that when I saw he wasn't with you. You two stay there. We'll go around to meet up.
It's not like we have much of a choice. Just be prepared for battle when you get here.
See, he wasn't so lucky then, was he? I mean, he's dead.
Now, we must be cautious. Skullcrawler has always been a place of danger, and this disease seems to have only further agitated the creatures that live here.
Let's just carry on. do have some help with me today. It is doable solo, but it can be quite tricky, especially with the ogre boss and the gargoyle boss. Also makes the dungeon go a bit quicker, which is less editing for me in the long run. I do have more games on the way. I've got a Scum planned and also a game called Metro, which I've played before. It's a really cool game. But there was a DLC I'd never even heard about, so I kind of want to get into that. I'll start doing new games this year.
It looks stronger than the rest. Smells stronger too.
Not newer games, but start recording more games.
The two ogres ahead seem to be the clan leaders. We'll need to defeat them in order to continue on. No easy task, I'm sure. They look to be formidable foes. I'd advise you to keep your distance, if possible. I'd hate for anyone to become infected.
Oh crap, I wasn't supposed to do that. There we go. Should we start attacking? Oh no! I wasn't expecting him to die. We made it though. We made it.
They never bothered me the last time I was here. What manner of illness has this cult created? Poor bastards. They never stood a chance. Ogres may not be the friendliest of creatures, but I was never bothered on my first trip to this mountain. The disease must have enraged them, caused them to turn aggressive. What a senseless death. Perhaps it was for the best. This illness looks absolutely gruesome. At least their suffering has been put to an end. We can't allow this disease to spread to the rest of Tamriel. Come, let's keep going.
Oh, logbook. There's a logbook here. You're welcome to pause the screen and read that. Always read him while I'm editing. It just saves time.
wonder Ela and Lotus are still down on those steps. I'm sorry to ask this of you, but we must give Ela and Lotus a chance to come up from those broken stairs. You'll need to defeat the creatures that are guarding the temple's entrance. Good luck, my friend. Stay vigilant.
This boss will be interesting. If we both get stung, then that's it. Right. Oh no. No! Oh no, I'm gonna die. Whoa! Oh no! No! Tricky, 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 tricky. Just have to kite the orb. I don't think they drop an orb signal. Where's the first? It's all these ice frames, they get in the way, so you can't really. Plug it. Oh, did it? A lot smoother the second time around.
The last time I was here. What changed?
Beats me. All I know is that we were stuck between a rock and a pitfall.
Ela, we can't allow the disease to spread. I need you and Lotus to go back and burn every corpse you find.
Fine. Just make sure you don't take down the cult leader without us. We still have a deal.
Yes, yes, you'll have your prize, just as we agreed. I just don't understand. These gargoyles were merely statues when I came here before. Unfortunately, I'm just not sure. Normally, I'd blame the cultists, but I doubt they'd have this kind of power. These statues are ancient, imbued with old magic. I don't know what matter of mage could awaken them. The arrival of these cultists, the creation of this plague, all of it simply unprecedented. Perhaps the growing hostility of the local fauna have awakened the temple's defenses. We'll need to keep moving if we want further insight.
Let's keep moving then. I will start doing trial quests as well, but they take a little bit more organisation to set up. So I need more than, you know, 1 or 2 people to do it. There you go, there's another book there. Pause the screen if you want to read that. Should be first. Oh. No one saw that. Bit of luck.
Watch out for this one. She must be the Giant's matriarch.
Usually when we do this boss, you just stack it there, but because we're only 2 people without a tank, we'll do it another way. But that does mean these guys.
Expected this illness to weaken the Giants, but it seems just the opposite.
Yet another reason to wipe the temple clean of this repugnant cult.
While I agree, we also can't allow this sickness to spread. I'll need you and Lotus to burn the corpses, just like before.
Just call me Lotus the Torch.
I doubt it will be any easier going from here, but we'll see you all further up. How strange. I've never seen an illness give strength to those it has afflicted. You would think these poor creatures would barely be able to move, what with the state they're in. Why would the cult put themselves at such risk? I do believe the cult infected these creatures, most likely for research purposes. However, such aggression would only make this mountain more dangerous for further experiments to be conducted. These symptoms simply can't be by design. Ogres and giants have a natural magic all their own, as mysterious as it is powerful. I'm sure the cult didn't think to take that into account. Few researchers do. What a senseless slaughter, with only more to come, I fear.
I'm just gonna make sure I'm still recording. Yeah, I'm still recording. There is an achievement you can get, so what you want to do is you want to come over to this. Take this sample. and I'll show you what to do with it later. Just looking for any law books. Don't think there's any around here. There's one there though. There you go. Give you time so you can pause it, so you can use each page of that. That's it on the wood, the quest. Of course I get garbage.
This door for Lotus and Hela.
Seems like these cultists have as much of an affinity for the dead dragon priest as you do, Jorvuld. They keep invoking her name.
Ah, you would think these cozies would just worship a Daedric prince, like any sensible cult.
I'm glad to see you both uninjured and unafflicted, I hope.
None of them got close enough to give us their little blessing. I can assure you of that.
Zaan the Scale Caller. They've taken over her temple, begun to invoke her name. I fear that these facts are no mere coincidence. This cult must be worshipping her in some fashion. But why? I fear not. Scale Caller is a dragon priest, and long dead at that. Besides, she's never been connected to plagues or disease. Perhaps they're trying to tap into her power. Or perhaps the decor here is merely to their liking. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Just a half-baked theory. Besides, we'll find out the truth soon enough. I suspect that the cult leader is just up ahead. We should get moving.
Well, we know by the end of the dungeon she isn't dead. So maybe everyone thought she was dead. Or maybe they bring her back in some way.